Welcome to My Friends Don't Know, a podcast about news and politics. I am your host and co-host, Kapi. This is episode number 8, and I'm going to start the episode by talking to my friends in New York City. DeBlasio is fed up. Y'all done got him heated. He went off on us on Twitter. Said he told the NYPD to have zero tolerance for large gatherings and told them to give out summonses or arrests. He said this on Tuesday night after he personally went to Williamsburg to break up a huge gathering for the funeral of a rabbi. It was mad people outside. They gave out about 30 summonses. Week before that, they shut down a large gathering at a barbershop in Brooklyn. Gave out 60 summonses. Look, man, we on a good pace in New York, B. And of course, any death is a death too many. Ideally, no one else would get the virus. But as far as the curve that they were talking about, if we're better disciplined about social distancing, then it should go down from here. And that's the key to ending the New York pause. Federal guidelines say that for a state to reopen, there has to be 14 consecutive days of a drop in key indicators. Governor Cuomo said some parts of New York will start unpausing on May 15th. To be clear, this will probably not include New York City. This is for the rest of New York State. They're going to start with phase 1 that will allow construction and some manufacturing operations to resume. Phase 2 would be more of a business by business analysis, looking at how essential their services are and the risk to customers and employees. If during the 14 consecutive days of a drop, let's say day 12, there's a rise, there's an increase, we got to restart those 14 days again. Así que stay inside of your home. Please. Por Dios, mijo. Yo, check this though. Coronavirus outbreaks are forcing meat processing plants to close. As the plants close, the producers are left with nowhere to sell their livestock. Farmers have been having to kill the animals because they have nowhere to sell them to. The U.S. government deadass set up centers to assist on, quote, depopulation and disposal methods. Millions of chickens, pigs, and cows are getting killed. Some companies right now are using the let me buy up all the toilet paper approach, like Jersey Mike's, which has almost 1,800 stores across the country. They're working with the company that supplies its ham, the Clemens Food Group, to make sure that they get their supply of pork. The CEO, Peter Cancro, said, "We're backing it up already because of the coming shortages." I prefer Blimpies. Blimpies needs a comeback. Now, they're saying that the food from a plant where someone gets COVID doesn't pose health concerns because, by all accounts, COVID isn't a foodborne illness. Products from a farm or production plant with a confirmed case can still be sent out for distribution. But If farmers have to kill the animals, then that means there's no new meat to process. I think it was Tyson, the chicken company. They killed 2 million chickens earlier this month because of worker shortages. Pin that, right? Before the pandemic, 1 in 7 Americans relied on food banks. According to Feeding America, this is a national network of the charities. Now, demand has doubled or tripled at many of these organizations. Yet, farmers are destroying produce, dumping milk, killing animals because the pandemic has interrupted the supply chains, making it impossible for many crops to get to market. Grocery stores are struggling to stock shelves because the suppliers can't adjust to the shift of demand away from closed restaurants to retailers. They say it requires different packaging and different distribution networks. Before the pandemic, Feeding America organizations, they received about a third of their food from grocery store programs that, quote, rescue fresh food and dry goods that are imperfect or close to expiration. Almost a quarter came from government programs that provide meat, cheese, and other products. And the rest came from donations from farmers and grocers and purchases by the food banks. But now those supply lines are disrupted. Panic buying at groceries and supermarkets strip stores of inventories that were usually donated surplus items. So this is causing grocers to shift to cash donations for the food banks instead of actual food. The growing demand from families, along with higher prices on some products, is killing the food banks' cash budgets. There's a food bank in Nebraska, for example, that said they're going to spend up to $1 million on food in April, compared to about 70,000 in a normal month. Many farmers say they'd rather donate the food than destroy it, but charities say that they're overwhelmed and don't have the labor or storage to handle such bulk donations. Something has to get figured out there. Now, to bring it back, if the plants are closing because employees are getting coronavirus, why is Trump authorizing the Defense Production Act to force them to reopen? Where's the logic in that? If the plants are closing because workers are getting sick, and as a result of that, they can't process food, so farmers have to kill their animals, why are you going to force these people to stay open and go back to work and risk more people getting sick? All that's going to do is keep disrupting the food, the supply chain. I don't understand the logic in that. Before I sign off, I wanted to share a story with y'all. This story is about Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud was jogging in Brunswick, Georgia. While Ahmaud was jogging, he ran by a guy named Gregory McMichael. Gregory then called out to his son, Travis McMichael. And Gregory and Travis grabbed a .357 Magnum and a shotgun, got in a truck, and followed Ahmaud. They said that they shouted at Ahmaud to stop because they wanted to talk to him. They shot him twice, killing him in Satilla Shores, Georgia. That's about 8 miles from Brunswick. Gregory McMichael told police that he thought Ahmaud was a suspect in a string of recent break-ins. He said that they struggled over the shotgun before he shot him with it. The prosecutor that was first assigned the case, his name is George E. Barnhill. George told police that the McMichaels, quote, acted within the scope of Georgia's citizens arrest statute, and that Travis McMichael, who held the shotgun, had acted out in self-defense, that he did not believe that there was evidence of a crime, noting that Gregory McMichael and his son had been legally carrying their weapons under Georgia law, and that the McMichaels had solid first-hand probable cause. That was Prosecutor George E. Barnhill. Ahmaud's mother asked the prosecutor to remove himself from the case because the prosecutor's son works in the DA's office where Gregory McMichael used to work. Wow. There are certain cases that really put the whole justice is blind theory to test. Because as of today, Ahmaud was killed February 23rd. As of today, nobody has been charged for his murder. His family can't protest in the streets because of coronavirus guidelines to stay at home and not gather in large groups. So please, share his name, share his story, help his family and friends raise awareness, and I will definitely be following this case and keeping y'all posted with any updates. To my friends that don't know, I hope this helped keep you informed. To my friends that do know, check me, man. Maybe I misspoke. I am your host and co-host, Kapi. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see y'all next week. On Wednesday.